The heat exchanger in the burner uses several hundred of these very small thimbles stacked up in a labyrinth to where the exhaust weaves its way up through all these thimbles. There's several hundred. They're backfilled with liquid metal so that they transfer heat very efficiently. You can build this on that lathe too, anything from this small to the larger pieces. What we built here, the exhaust heat exchanger, was one of the higher technology pieces that we'd fabricated. It's made out of a high temperature stainless because it's got to sit at over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit continuously for years with exhaust going across the surface. So we're using a special stainless alloy. Our original versions were costing about $50,000 to build a heat exchanger. So what we're doing is we made some castings so that we can make them for about $1,000 each. So that's what these are. We're using aluminum molded parts. They fit into a mold that's we can split apart. This is actually used to make a wax version of our heat exchanger. So we have one for the inside and one for the outside, and we cast it with two kinds of waxes. The inside one's a soluble wax, and the outside one is an insoluble with water. And what happens is we first create the inside one, we put the outside wax on it, we ship it off to Precision Castparts. They take the soluble wax out, and then they put ceramic over all the wax, and they dissolve out the other wax by heat, and what they're left with is just the thimble shapes, but hundreds of them in a single piece, and they can cast it at almost the cost of the metal.
So what eventually is going to happen is you will not be doing the manufacture here. You've
That's
just
correct.
created all of the molds, all of the products that will be reproduced in mass elsewhere.
Right.
And you're
Precision Castparts would do 90% of the castings, and what would happen is we'll set up a factory and we'd machine the interfaces after we receive the castings. So we'd machine the sealed parts and just do the assembly, and then do the engine checkout to verify that the engine's working correctly, and then ship it. So the advantage of that is we can have a much more rapid scale up, because our customers are asking for as many as 5,000 engines a year, which is fairly rapid for this. And our business plan's talking about 50,000 engines a year eventually, which is about $1 billion in sales a year. So it's sizable. Anyway, that's the molds.
Okay.
So we'll have wax parts of these, and I have pictures of it inside if you want to see it.
Yeah, can I
Yeah.
pick one of these up?
And these were built on the lathe over there. So basically it's an inside and an outside of the pin, so that when they're cast, what'll be left is the metal part. So usually tooling like this would cost a few $100,000, and we did it in our shop for $10,000.
Wow.
So